never quite understood the idea of these portable power stations, or solar generators as some companies like to call them. And here at RV Miles, we get lots of emails every week of products that people want us to share with you. And by far the most emails we get are from companies selling these portable power stations. And there are lots of them out there, some of them better than others. But when we decided to come down into Baja and then make the journey all the way up into Alaska in a much smaller RV, I thought a lot about what these portable power stations might mean for us, and especially the portable solar panels that are often sold with them. So we reached out to Jackery, which is a company I know lots of other RVers trust, and we asked them if they would be willing to send us a kit for our review to share with you. So this video is not sponsored by them. They have not told us what to say in this video at all. They have no approval of it, but they did send us the kit for free to check out for you. I want to make that very clear up front. When we decided to go on this big adventure, we knew we were going to be downsizing into a 25-foot RV from our 43-foot fifth wheel. That meant less room for solar. We also knew that we were only going to be in this RV for 6 or 7 months or so we didn't want to spend too much money putting in a $10,000 power system. We did move a couple of solar panels over from our Sabre, but really it was all that we had room for on the roof. We also knew that the sun would be low in the sky for most of our year. We are down here in Baja in the winter, and we're going to be up in Alaska where the sun's low all the time. And that meant that pointing solar panels at the sun would give us the best opportunity to bring in the most power. And Jackery solar panels, I've always been really excited about when I've seen them in person, so I've really been excited about getting my hands on some. Jackery sent us their Solar Generator 1500 kit. Now, I've never been a fan of this term solar generator because it's often applied to these portable power stations. Jackery calls their portable power station a power station, and the kit that includes solar panels a solar generator. Other companies call their unit a solar generator, but it doesn't come with solar panels. So what is it? It's a battery with an inverter charger inside. That's not a generator to me. But when you add solar panels on, you are then bringing power in from the sun. One of my biggest hang-ups about these types of systems, though, is why don't I just put another battery into my RV for less money? I already have an inverter charger in there. I already have a solar controller. That's certainly one option, but I'm now realizing having a power station that's portable can be a little clutch. When you want to drive into a national park and put it in the back of your truck and get some power for a picnic. When you want to plug it into your truck to let it power up on the drive. When you're not RVing and you want to take it to your kid's soccer game or your tailgating or something like that. Or if you just want to have emergency power when the power goes out at home. There are lots of different uses for something like that, and I think one thing that's great for all RVers is stuff that is multi-purpose. So let's get into the Jackery Solar Generator 1500 kit. The main power station is their Explorer 1500. It has 1500 watts of battery power built into it and an inverter inside, which means that you can plug in 110 volt power, anything that normally takes a regular household outlet. But it also has USB chargers, both USB-A and USB-C on the front. The USB-C ports go up to 100 watts, which means you can charge your big power-hungry laptops right off of them if you want to without putting in the brick. The brick is converting power and losing it. So when you plug in your laptop, your smartphone, whatever it is, into your little brick and then plug that into an outlet, you're losing a little bit of power in that conversion. And with something like this, if you're plugging it into those AC outlets, those 110 volt outlets, it's inverting the power for AC and then turning it back into DC for your device when it was DC all along. So you're losing even extra power. So it's always best to plug right into the DC USB ports. When possible, you'll lose the least amount of battery power. You can turn on and off each bank of outlets separately, which means you can turn off those inverted outlets and not have them running when you're charging other things, which can save a little bit of power when you're not using them. The display is nice and bright. You can see it clearly in the broad daylight, and it shows you how much power you're bringing in, how much power is going out, what percentage level the battery is at, how many hours left of use you have, and how many hours left to full charge if you're charging it off of any sort of device or solar. There's also a little emergency light that is very bright. It has a dim level, a bright level, and an SOS mode. And it's really great when you have it sitting in the bed of your truck and you want to hit the button to have it light up if you don't have a truck bed light. On the back, you have the DC ports that solar panels plug into, and you have an AC port where you can plug the included charge cable into a household outlet. So you can have this thing regularly be charging in your garage or something like that and have it ready to go anytime you want to take it out. Or you can plug the included DC cable into it and plug it into a cigarette lighter type port in your vehicle so you can charge it on your drive. Those DC charge ports are also where the solar panels get plugged into. And as I said before, those solar panels are the most exciting thing about this system. They're small, they're lightweight, they're foldable, they're well designed, and you can point them at the sun and move them throughout the day. So just to give you an example of what we're getting out of those panels, right now I've got all 4 of the ones that came with this kit on the ground, and you can get kits with 2 panels, 4 panels, 6 panels. So I have 400 watts of potential solar power, and I'm bringing in, with the sun pretty low in the sky, it's about 9 a.m. on a winter morning here in beautiful Baja, Mexico, I'm getting in about 360 watts of solar. And if you've used solar before and you've just used flat panels on your roof, you know that that kind of amount is really unheard of unless the sun is directly over you. In comparison, we have 760 watts of solar on the roof of our RV right now, laying flat, and they're only bringing in about 170 watts of power. So we have almost double the capacity on the roof, and it's receiving about half as much power. So that means I'm getting almost 4 times, maybe 3 times the output of the individual panels from just being able to point them directly at the sun. It's a huge, huge difference. Just look at how well designed these panels are. They fold down incredibly thin and flat. They have a fabric coating that's really rugged, and they have grommets that you could hang them off of, or you can stake them down once it's opened up, or you could tie them down to something where you want to leave them flat. They magnetically close, so you just pop them open like that. Super lightweight again. I can carry all 4 at one time very easily. A big oversized pouch on the back that the cord comes in. The cords are all pre-attached. They're all thick and strong. They come with an adapter for different types of ports, and there's a USB-A and a USB-C port right on the panel. So if you don't even want to use the power station, you can plug your phone in or something like that right there. It has 2 kickstands that pop out. They're Velcroed in, and you can adjust them to any sort of angle that you want. Now, in order to plug multiple panels in, you do have to do a little bit of load balancing. I mean, there's only those 2 ports on the back of the power station, so you have to plug in 2 on one side and 2 on the other. And this kit with the 4 panels comes with 2 combiners that allow me to gang up 2 on either side, or 3 if I had 2 more panels. Those pouches on the back of the solar panels are big enough to include a few additional things that you might want to put in there, including those combiners or any other sort of charge cables that you might want to include in there. We've been using this system primarily to sit out on the beach and work, but also to run our Starlink satellite internet system. Starlink is a little bit power hungry, and it's convenient to be able to put this out and have it plugged into that and know that it's always going to be running no matter what happens inside. It's not pulling down our battery power in case of an emergency in the RV, but it's keeping itself up and running whenever we need it. If we want to leave the campsite and bring Starlink with us, we also bring the Jackery with us. And then we've got power pretty much anywhere on Earth as long as we're not covered by tree cover or we're outside of the range of Starlink. So overall, I think this kit is great for anybody who wants some extra power when they're out and about, like I said, going to soccer games, tailgating, wherever you might need it, including when you're RVing, especially if you're somebody that goes out on the weekends or doesn't want to put a big power system into your RV. You want something that is just put together that you can take from one RV to the next, or maybe you don't have room for the solar panels or the batteries. Maybe you have a small pop-up or you're camping in a tent. There are lots of different types of use cases, and you have to decide if it's best for you. But we've been happy with this system. Again, Jackery provided it to us. That hasn't colored our review of it at all. It really does seem to be a great system. It seems to be durable. It seems to be well put together, well thought out, and I'm really happy with it. So I'll put a link to it in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. And please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to get more reviews like this, to get our news roundups, and then subscribe to our podcast channel where you can check out our podcast on YouTube or on any podcast app. Thanks a lot for being here, and we'll see you on the next video.